need you to step away from the vehicle.
I'm just getting my briefcase from my car.
Yeah, we got a report of suspicious activity. What are you doing in this parking garage?
I work here in this building.
Huh, okay.
Sure. It's in my jacket pocket. I'm reaching for it now. You're being detained.
Detained?
For what?
Sir, I need you to step away from the vehicle. I'm just getting my briefcase from my car. Yeah, we got a report of suspicious activity. What are you doing in this parking garage? I work here in this building. Well, okay, sure, you got ID. It's in my jacket pocket. I'm reaching for it now. Hands where I can see them. Turn around. You're being detained. Detained for what? I told you I work here. You're making this difficult. Hands behind your back, now. Officer Martinez had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 2 days, his department would face a media storm. There would be an internal investigation, and the city would see the largest budget cut in its history. The man he just put in handcuffs was not just someone who worked in the building. He was State Senator David Coleman, a 12-year lawmaker who sat on the Budget Committee. Senator Coleman did not just vote on police funding. He ran the committee that controlled it. Every patrol car, every overtime check, every pension dollar in the district went through his office. And the body camera was recording everything, every rude comment, every ignored explanation, every second of an arrest that should have ended with a simple ID check. Before I continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever been stopped or questioned for no good reason? Drop your answer in the comments below. But Officer Martinez had no idea who he just put in handcuffs. His name was David Coleman. He was a state senator. He had held that job for 12 years. He ran the budget committee that paid for police departments across the state. Before politics, he was a civil rights lawyer for 15 years. He went to Howard University Law School, one of the best in the country. He had spent his whole career fighting for fair treatment under the law. In the Senate, he was known as a moderate voice. He worked with both parties. He wrote major laws on police reform. Other lawmakers respected him. But here is the part that matters most. Senator Coleman controlled $340 million in state police funding. That includes the department that just detained him. He was married with 3 kids. He lived in the district he served. He walked to work most days. He parked in the same spot in the Capitol garage for 8 years. On this Tuesday morning in March, Senator Coleman was just trying to grab his briefcase. He had a 9 a.m. meeting, a meeting about police funding. Now here is what makes this story even more unbelievable. Officer Raymond Martinez had been with the department for 6 years. He was 34 years old. He had worked the Capitol District for 2 years. But Martinez had a pattern. 4 complaints in 3 years. Every single one involved stops of black men in professional settings. In 2021, he stopped a black lawyer outside a law firm. Martinez said the man was loitering. No charges were filed. The complaint was dismissed. In 2022, he detained a black doctor in a hospital parking lot. Martinez demanded proof the man worked there. The doctor filed a complaint. Martinez got a written warning. That was it. In 2023, Martinez questioned a black city council aide in the same parking garage. The aide complained. Nothing happened. His supervisor wrote in his last review that there were pattern concerns, but no one did anything about it. The police union always backed him up. They said the complaints were not proven. They said Martinez was just doing his job. But this time would be different. This time the cameras were rolling. This time the man in handcuffs had real power, power to change everything. Type 1 in the comments if you think 4 complaints should have been enough to stop this. It was Tuesday, March 14th. The time was 8:47 in the morning. The state capitol parking garage was busy. Staffers walked in with coffee. Cars pulled into spots. Elevator doors opened and closed. Just a normal Tuesday. At 8:41, someone made an anonymous call. They said there was a suspicious black male on level 2. They claimed he was trying to break into cars. Officer Martinez got the call. He arrived 6 minutes later. He did not ask for backup. He turned on his body camera. Senator Coleman had parked in his assigned spot, the same spot he used for 8 years. His name was on a sign right there. He had left his briefcase in the car the night before. He walked back to get it before his meeting. He wore a suit and tie. His Senate ID badge was clipped to his jacket. His parking permit sat on his dashboard. Martinez saw a black man leaning into a car. He did not see the parking permit. He did not see the ID badge. He did not see the nameplate on the parking spot. That is when everything changed. If stories like this matter to you, hit that subscribe button right now. Martinez walked up fast. Step away from the vehicle. Coleman turned around slowly. I'm just getting my briefcase. This is my car. We got a report. Suspicious activity. Ty, what are you doing here? I work here in that building right there. Coleman pointed at the Capitol. Martinez looked at him. Okay, sure, you got ID. Yes, it's in my jacket pocket. I'm going to reach for it now. Hands where I can see them. Coleman froze. He pointed to his chest. My ID badge is right here, on my jacket. Martinez ignored it. Turn around, you're being detained. Detained for what? I just told you I work here, I'm a state senator. Martinez grabbed his arm. Yeah, and I'm the president, hands behind your back. He pushed Coleman against the car. He put on the handcuffs. Coleman stayed calm. His voice was steady, but his hands were shaking. Right then the elevator opened. A young man stepped out. His name was Marcus Webb. He was a legislative aide. He saw Senator Coleman in handcuffs. He stopped cold. Officer, that's Senator Coleman. He chairs the Budget Committee. What are you doing? Martinez did not even look at him. Sir, step back. This doesn't concern you. But Marcus did not step back. He pulled out his phone. He started recording. And he was not the only one watching. Wait until you hear what happened next. 2 minutes later, Capitol Security arrived. Lieutenant Denise Warren stepped out of the elevator. She had worked Capitol Security for 15 years. She knew every lawmaker by face. She saw Senator Coleman against the car, handcuffs on, badge visible. She walked straight to Martinez. Officer, what is happening here? Do you know who this is? Martinez stood up straighter. I'm responding to a suspicious person call. He claims he works here. Warren's voice went cold. He doesn't just work here, he's a state senator. Remove those handcuffs, now. She pointed at Coleman's jacket. You see that badge? That's a Senate ID. She pointed at the dashboard. You see that permit? That's a legislator parking pass. She pointed at the ground. You see that sign? That's his assigned parking spot. His name is on it. Martinez went quiet. The body camera recorded 4 full seconds of silence. He did not say a word. He took off the handcuffs. Senator Coleman rubbed his wrists. He was breathing hard, but he stayed calm. By now, 3 witnesses had seen everything. Marcus Webb had recorded the last 90 seconds on his phone. He was already texting his coworkers. Sandra Chen was a lobbyist. She had just parked nearby. She watched the whole thing from 30 feet away. James Okonkwo was a Capitol security guard. He arrived with Lieutenant Warren. He wrote down everything he saw. The evidence was stacking up. Body camera footage from Martinez, dashcam footage from his patrol car, video from Marcus Webb's phone, 4 security cameras in the garage. Coleman stayed calm. He asked for Martinez's badge number. He asked for his name. He asked for his supervisor's contact. No yelling, no cursing, just questions. Martinez started to explain. I was responding to a call. I was just doing my job. Coleman nodded slowly. I understand. We'll discuss what your job should look like. You'll be hearing from my office. At 9:15, Senator Coleman walked into his committee hearing, the one about police funding. At 9:20, Marcus Webb sent his video to 3 journalists. Officer Martinez had no idea how bad things were about to get. Type justice in the comments if you think the officer was wrong. By noon, Police Chief Angela Morrison knew everything. She asked for all the footage. She ordered an immediate review. She called internal affairs. That same day, they opened an investigation. Martinez was put on paid leave. He could not work while they looked into what happened. Martinez gave his official statement. but his story did not match the evidence. He said the suspect matched the description from the call, but the caller said the man wore jeans and a hoodie. Coleman wore a suit and tie. He said the man was acting suspicious, but Coleman was just grabbing a briefcase from his own car, in his own parking spot. He said the man refused to show ID, but the body camera showed Coleman pointing to his badge in the first 30 seconds. His story fell apart. Then the investigators dug deeper. They found the 4 previous complaints. They talked to the people who filed them. They saw the pattern. The police union put out a statement. They said the investigation was political. They said Martinez did nothing wrong. But the pressure was building. By 5 p.m., 3 other senators made public statements. The governor's office asked for a briefing. The local NAACP said they would hold a press conference the next day. Chief Morrison's office got 47 calls from reporters before the end of the day. But the real storm was just starting, because by that night the video was not just with journalists, it was everywhere. If you believe in accountability, hit subscribe so you do not miss what happens next. By 10 a.m., Marcus Webb's video was spreading. He shared it in 3 group chats with other legislative staff. By 1 p.m., a local political reporter posted about it online. 2,000 people shared it in the first hour. By 4 p.m., the body camera footage was released. Public records laws made that possible. It got 180,000 views. By 8 p.m., the story was on national news. CNN ran it, MSNBC ran it, Fox News ran it. By midnight, the videos had over 4 million views combined. The hashtag was trending across the country. Within 3 days, 11 million people watched the footage. 340,000 people shared it. 89,000 people commented. The comments kept saying the same things. This is what we've been saying. They don't see the suit, they just see black. If this happens to a senator, imagine what happens to regular people. He stayed calmer than I ever could. That's survival mode. The story hit the Washington Post, the New York Times, NPR. News outlets in the UK and Canada picked it up. Chief Morrison held a press conference. She called the incident deeply troubling. She promised full accountability. 2 city council members called for Martinez to be fired. The state black lawmakers group demanded a meeting with police leaders. But 3 days later, Senator Coleman did something no one expected. Comment below and tell me what you think he did next. Senator Coleman held a press conference on Friday. Lawmakers from both parties stood beside him. He did not just call for the officer to be fired. He called for something much bigger. He proposed a complete change to how police get their funding. New rules, new requirements, no more blank checks. The first change was immediate. The department lost $26 million from its budget. That money did not disappear. It went somewhere else. Some went to community safety programs. Some went to mental health response teams. Some went to a new civilian oversight board. The rest of the funding came with conditions. The department had to finish bias training. They had to fix how they handle complaints. They had to make sure every officer uses their body camera correctly. The vote passed 34-12. Both parties supported it. Officer Martinez faced his own consequences. Internal Affairs finished their investigation. Martinez got a 30-day suspension without pay. He was moved out of the Capital District permanently. He had applied for a promotion to detective 2 months earlier. He did not get it. Senator Coleman also filed a civil rights complaint. The case settled out of court. Reports said Martinez paid somewhere in the mid-6 figures. That is hundreds of thousands of dollars. The department made other changes too. New policy. Officers must check ID badges and parking permits before detaining anyone in government parking areas. New training. Bias training went from 4 hours a year to 16 hours. New oversight. The Civilian Review Board got real power to investigate complaints. The person who made the anonymous call was never found. Some thought it might have been a fake report meant to cause trouble, but there was no proof. No one was charged. But wait, there is more, because Senator Coleman was not done talking. 3 weeks later, Senator Coleman sat down for an interview. He spoke from his Senate office. He talked about what those few minutes felt like. For about 4 seconds, with my face against that car, I wasn't a senator. I was just a black man who might not make it home. He paused. My wife saw that video before I could call her. My children saw their father in handcuffs. He had spent 12 years writing laws about this exact problem. He had read the studies. He had heard people testify about their experiences. But living it was different. I have resources. I have power. I have cameras that people will actually watch. Most people don't have any of that. He wanted people to understand something important. This isn't about what happened to me. This is about what happens every day to people who can't hold a press conference. When asked about Officer Martinez, Coleman surprised some people. I don't want him to lose his career. I want him to be part of a system that doesn't create officers like him in the first place. That's what reform means. He thanked Lieutenant Warren for doing the right thing. He thanked Marcus Webb for recording. He thanked his colleagues for standing with him. He ended with this: "My job is to build a system where everyone can trust each other. We're not there yet, but we're going to keep working." This case showed a bigger problem. Studies show black drivers are 20% more likely to be stopped than white drivers. Black Americans are 2.5 times more likely to be killed by police. Senator Coleman had power most people do not have. He had money for lawyers. He had media attention. He had the ability to change the budget. Most people who go through this have none of that. That is why this case matters, not because of who he but because of who else this happens to. So let me ask you, do we really want accountability, or do we only want it when the victim has power? Do we believe the 4 complaints against Officer Martinez, or do we only believe Senator Coleman because we saw the video? Do we think this was just one mistake, or do we see the system that made it happen? Because if we do not fix the training problems, if we do not close the accountability gaps, if we do not change the culture that sees a black man in a suit and thinks threat instead of citizen, then we are just waiting. Waiting for the next Officer Martinez, the next Senator Coleman, the next viral video, and the next victim who does not have a press conference to call. Comment below. Do you think $26 million was the right response? Should it have been more or less? If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button. We are going to keep investigating these cases. We are going to keep asking the hard questions. We are going to keep demanding better. This is not just about one officer or one senator. This is about all of us and the system we choose to accept.